You are pure. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Go Watch a Movie, episode 68. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
As you may have just heard, we're doing Glass today. That was my poor impression of the Beast. I'm excited for this episode because this movie it's so torn down the middle. It's insane how torn it is. Critics are saying one thing, audience are saying another, and even then there's another sub-audience that's saying something else. So I'm looking forward to this. But first, let's get into a little bit of entertainment news. To start things off here, Ryan Reynolds confirms Deadpool 3 is in development. We all knew that was coming, but it's happy to hear it from his mouth because Disney now is going to be in charge of that. So he's saying it's going to be very different from the other two tonally.
Okay.
What do you think? You think the mouse got in there and is
the mouse might be in there, might be in his outfit. I don't know.
You gotta stay rated R though, regardless of.
You think they will?
I mean, if they change that,
well, they just came out with that whatever one that they toned
the PG-13, the once upon a
maybe that was a test. Maybe that was a test just to say, let's see if people.
You make too much sense.
I think it's all a test.
You could be right.
We'll see what happens. I hope they keep it what it is because that's part of the appeal, I think, for a lot of people.
Yes,
but we'll see.
And he did state him and the writers stated that will be coming after the X-Force movie, which I'm also looking forward to. We'll see how they tackle that. That's not an easy team to bring to the screen. Let's see here. Edgar Wright is shooting a psychological horror thriller this summer. I am a big fan of Edgar Wright. Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, the end of the pub one. The one he did, Baby Driver. Love those films. Baby Driver was kind of a thriller anyway. But yeah, he's diving deep into that territory. You think he can pull it off?
I don't know. It's not really what it's known for, is it? Because
Baby Driver was totally different from all his other.
That was completely different and pretty amazing. I don't know about. Well, you know what? Yeah, I think he can. I'm gonna support him on this one. Good.
Yeah, same here. I'm looking forward to it because
look at Get Out. Did you expect that guy to be able to write? I mean, that's not what you would think he would be doing. So maybe, and they do say the comedy. There's something dark about a comic.
Most are sad.
There's a whole lot of darkness in there, and that makes it funny somehow. I don't know how it works.
Trust me, I know.
You are pure. So we'll see I think he can do it.
Yeah. And that'll bring us to Oscar nominations. Oscars is going to be airing this the 24th. And I just want to dive into Best Picture. All the other ones you can look up at gowatchamovie.com. But Best Picture nominees are Vice, A Star Is Born, Roma, Green Book, The Favorite, I'm not sure, Bohemian Rhapsody, Black Klansman, and Black Panther. A comic book movie up for Best Picture at the Oscars.
You think it'll win though?
No,
I think it's just like a toss in there, like, hey, we're throwing you some a bone, but
yeah,
even though it would be cool if it won,
it should have. It should. I mean, I think it broke boundaries. I think, and I think that's what that category is about. It's like entertaining and breaking boundaries at the same time. Bohemian Rhapsody pulled the win off at the Golden Globes, if I remember right. So we'll see what happens with this one. Yeah, and there's a Netflix original film in there as well, Roma. So that's something different, streaming service pulling that off, which they did just get the MPAA. They're now considered with all the film studios in there. So yeah, but yeah, that's entertainment news. All those news stories can be found in more detail at gowatchmovie.com. That'll bring us to trailers. last week I kind of shanghaied the first one. You want to go first?
You can Shanghai it anytime you want to. All right, mine is called Golem. I don't know if you saw this trailer. I don't know if you saw the movie Witch with 2 V's in the front of it instead of a W. That one actually has a girl from Glass. From Glass.
Oh, okay.
The one with the eyes.
Yeah. So
Golem, for some reason, reminds me of Witch. And I think Witch was kind of a standout movie. It takes place kind of like, I want to say colonial times or something, like way back. You're turning your own butter back then, like way back then. So that's what it reminds me of. And I almost feel like they kind of go together in a weird sort of way, or they at least exist in the same universe. Okay. And it's like basically you're just like this woman who creates a golem, and it ends up being in the form of a little boy who's kind of emotionless, and then all the fun stuff happens from there. There's a lot of people like shouldn't have that, you shouldn't do this, blah blah blah, and the little kid's just there being quiet, but then he's probably evil, and there's all kinds of crazy stuff. I don't want to completely ruin it for you, but if you see, for some reason
is it like a dark gingerbread man?
Yeah, it just so reminds me of Witch. It just belongs in the same universe, and that's why I'm excited. I'm almost like just want to put those 2 DVDs like on the shelf together, just because they seem like they belong together, and it got me excited for it.
Sweet deal. I'm gonna have to check that trailer out. Mine, I'm gonna go with one I'm surprised none of us has done yet because it's been out for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. John Wick, Chapter 3.
I figured that would be yours.
Holy cow, man. It looks like the movie takes place directly after part 2, which it has to. Yep. The clock is we actually get to see him count down the last 5 seconds as he's getting patched up by some doctor. Mm-hmm. All bets are off. $14 million on his head. They're dogs.
I feel like there should be more than that.
Bubiega. There should be
there should be more than 14
there should
million.
Be 30, 40 million. Mm-hmm. But there's 8.
It should be like 50 million in a country. Yeah. It's like you get a country too. Like if you could kill this guy, he's the boogeyman, you get a country.
But yeah, and it's Ian McShane is back, reprising his role. The Continental, like the posters have been amazing. The trailer is amazing. I love the look of John Wick as well.
Did you like that they added another character?
Halle Berry?
Yeah. Was it necessary?
I like that she trained the dogs. I haven't seen her in anything in a while, so I'm kind of, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. What was the last thing?
I thought she made a horror movie not too long ago.
Did she?
Yeah. She was like I don't know what she was. She was like on the phone all the time, and then like some guy was calling in. It was weird. I don't know if that was recent or that was a long time ago. I'm getting older. You have to excuse me.
I apologize, Halle Berry. You've probably been a lot, and you're amazing.
You should apologize because last time we talked about Halle Berry, you was like, "What, Halle Berry?" If anyone
there's context there.
If anyone should apologize, it's you, sir.
That's John Wick 3. Yeah, so that will bring us to the main event, Glass. And before we get into this, I just want to hop on Rotten Tomatoes and get the exact numbers because, as I stated, it's all over the freaking place. All right, Rotten Tomatoes, tomato meter, 37% rotten.
Critics.
Audience score, 78%. Night and day right there.
Yeah, surprises me.
I gotta tell you, wrong, critics. Wrong. In my opinion, this is what it should be. This is how it should have been. I didn't read their reviews. I've read a couple reviews. I don't know what took it down to that much. Most people are saying the ending. I have to disagree. I think for the universe he set up over the last 19 years, which is only 3 movies, but still 19 years make it sound like he had, an anthology going on. But it, in my opinion, I think was executed marvelously. I have one massive complaint, but other than that, I love what he did. Glass, is the third of the Unbreakable trilogy. Call it that because Unbreakable was first. At the time, even though now he's claiming that he had this ending in his head when he finished Unbreakable, no one knew that it was going to be a trilogy. But Unbreakable starred Bruce Willis. It was the introduction of a man who he has psychic sensibilities. If you touch someone, he can kind of get a glimpse of evil things they did. I don't know if it's just evil. Or
if they were bad, you could sense the bad.
And he was also super strong and couldn't be hurt. Then we got the masterpiece almost 16 years later that is Split. And I will stand and argue anybody that movie, even if he didn't connect that universe, is a masterpiece. Like, I don't know what genre it falls in. It's not quite horror. It's suspense thriller.
Suspense thriller.
Yeah.
That's what M. Night is suspense thriller.
But man, just and just maybe because I have a boner for James McAvoy's acting in it, was amazing. It was the creation of a villain. I skipped over. We also got introduced to Glass in Unbreakable as well. But yeah, this was the origin story of a villain. And then we get Glass, the conclusion of this Marvel-like superhero trilogy, which unites all three of these insane people in this universe he's created. So they've all been captured. We don't get how Glass is captured, but we get the battle between the Beast and the Overseer.
The Overseer,
Which, why does he have that poncho?
I don't know. I like the poncho. I like the poncho. It works. If you don't have a modern day superhero costume, it's not going to be. You're not going to make it. You're not going to sew this crap up and walk around the street.
Modern day real world.
You're going to wear something that fits in.
Yeah,
but still disguises you, and he uses both the costume and the dark to conceal himself. So it's perfectly
a baseball cap. But
I mean, I would have wore a mask. I wouldn't have used the dark. I would have just had like a bandana or something inside the poncho, just so I could be in the light if I wanted to. So everything didn't have to be in the dark. I didn't know he could see in the dark as well. Besides being able to sense good, evil people and being super strong. But was he really impervious? I mean, did they test that? Did they take a machine gun to his chest at any point in these three movies?
He hasn't been shot.
So we don't know how unbreakable he is. But
he seemed when she got into. Well, let's not skip around. I'm going to go ahead and jump in here, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So I love the world that they create here. Like, we get tossed into right after Split, not right after, I guess months after Split has happened. The Beast has been feasting. And I love that. I love that he's been he's been active, and we pick up where that last 5 seconds of Bruce Willis is now hunting the Beast. He's trying to capture him, and I love that he's teamed up with his son, and it's the same kid.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. They brought all those people back.
Yeah, that was fantastic. They're working like a modern day Oracle and Batman. Is that good? Yeah, I guess. I wanted to say somebody from Marvel, but whatever. Yeah. And then now they're hunting the Beast, and they find him beasting. Like, and I gotta say, James, and it's only been 2 years, has not lost a step. It's I can fan out on this movie so much because he the scenes where he's in front of the. Actually, I have a gripe real quick. Okay. I was at the theater, got in there. Right as all the trailers play, all of a sudden the please quiet your cell phones thing comes on, and then the next thing you know, blackness. The screen cuts out. So then it pops back on, and we see him come out as Patricia, and then all of a sudden just black. So I don't know if anything significant happened there, but then it's only lasted like 2 minutes, but I heard her ask if they wanted a PB or J. Yeah. And then, everything went black. But, and then his ideals of eating the unclean and pure are still there. The pure in our eyes, but unclean to him, I guess. But what are you thinking at this point of the movie? Are you as in as me?
At the very beginning?
Yeah, at the beginning.
At the very beginning, I was super excited. Just at the very beginning, because I had the trailer so stuck in my head because I watched it several times, and then I realized, you know what, they're really going to develop a story here. It's just not going to be like jump right in to what the trailer shows. There's actually going to be some moments, you know, that they didn't reveal in the trailer, which I appreciated. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm really going to, you know, get to enjoy this like firsthand, and I already know what's going to happen, whatever. But yeah, I completely like that the Beast was still doing what the Horde was still doing what the Horde does.
Setting up the Beast for
setting up for the Beast. At this point in the movie, I was 100% in.
Still good. Sounds like you had some reservations.
Yes.
The fight where the moment the Beast recognizes that the Overseer, I'm not a fan of that name.
I don't like the Overseer. Better than Tiptoe, whatever they called it. Yeah. Did Blackout did you see the Superman punch?
Yeah, the kids. Okay, I did see that. Yeah. And he goes and beats the crap out of some kids. I thoroughly
enjoyed that too. Him hunting people who were, you know, jerks or just criminals.
Superman punch, bro. But there was some the usages of color on the different characters to almost make it to not almost, but to continue that. Hey, this is a real life comic book. I loved it. Gets darker when you're on the Overseer. Then you get kind of the yellowish hue when you're with the Beast, and of course the purple for Glass. And then it's even more defined when they meet the doctor at the hospital, who just looks like, the fact that her hair doesn't move and her face is so, I don't know, lack of animated. Like, she looks like something out of a comic book.
Even from the trailer, I thought she was going to be more than just a psychiatrist or whatever. I thought she was going to be like the next villain. Which isn't completely what happens, but
and then the room, the pink room where she interrogates all three of them, like it just looks like a splash page out of a comic book. Love all that. Now they get captured, and this is where my one big gripe happens. The light thing with the Horde / Beast.
You didn't like that? It made sense.
No, it doesn't, because all he has to do is turn around.
Or close his eyes. Well, he did do it at one point, and he ducks underneath the guy. When the light was flashing, he tells the guy to stand there and pick something up. He's like, let me get a look at you. And then he stands up and he gets right in there so the light isn't hitting him, hoping he can get past it.
But if he would have walked backwards and got past the lights, and then Beast out and knocked the door open.
Just closed his eyes.
Yeah, like
possible.
Like I get the Overseer's room, you know, because it's water thing. But
yeah, but how's he going to drown from water being sprayed on? Doesn't he have to actually be submerged?
He just believes that it's like his kryptonite. Like it touched me. So
it is psychological.
Yeah, for him. Yeah, like yeah. So the doctor, let's get to her. Her job is to try and convince these people that they are not extraordinary. They're just normal.
Or shoot them in the forehead with a laser.
Or shoot, which apparently removes their abilities. I love the stuff in the hospital. The scenes of each character, the way they all handle it and dealt with it. I thought it was pretty fantastic. Well, I'm talking too much. What do you got here, sir? What are you going?
Nope, I'm with the critics. I didn't like this movie.
You did not like this movie? I did not like it. Let's hear it.
There's so many things about it that I don't like. Things I do like about it is that it's comic book based. I love that they took things from comic books and made them real life.
Gotcha.
I didn't necessarily need people to mention that throughout the entire movie, but I do understand that's what they did in the first one with him loving comic books. So it made sense.
Glass is obsessed with
so it made sense that they would continue with it, but I didn't necessarily want it because it was like they were giving away a thing instead of just letting the thing happen. They were like giving it away, like this is the climax to the limited edition, blah blah blah. And he's like, no, it's not. This is an origin story. It's been an origin story the whole time. Origin for who? These guys with the the 3 clover black tattoos
for everyone. Like for everyone other
else,
superhero.
I thought he was specifically talking about that group that was trying to stop, which annoyed the hell out of me because I didn't like them at all. Because every time there was 2 instances, or 3, they're in a room like normal dining setting doing whatever. Well, like one couple leaves and everybody stops like they're all psychically connected. How are you all psychically connected? You know that one person is the guy who's not in your group. You all know each other.
Did they give them a name?
I don't think so. They never give him a name. And then you could have just met at each other's houses or something. You didn't have to do this weird thing.
We're being social.
And, we're pretending, we're just normal people. Then when these other people leave, we'll all psychically look at each other. And then she'll come out and give everybody a little, pep talk about how the team's going. Mm-hmm. And if it's all right with you, we'll go to another city. I'll go to another city and do this again. Like there's all these different cities with all these different little groups of superheroes that she's got to, convince that they're not superheroes or shoot them in a laser with a head.
Or put down.
So, and I'm jumping way ahead to the end here, but I did not like that they all died. These are characters that we've been with for how many years? We love them. 2 of them at least. I love 2 of them. And then this last one just ruined it for me. It's like, why would you? And this is your plan. If you're the mastermind, your plan should not be to die to make more superheroes or villains.
I'm curious.
He should have worked something out where he could get away so he could enjoy the fruits of his labor. I mean, that's what he did. He created superheroes and supervillains, but then he would enjoy the fruits of his labor. He wouldn't die. And he's the mastermind. He's supposed to be able to figure out a way for him to continue doing what he does. Because what if it didn't work?
Yeah.
What about plan B? He didn't have a plan B. And he's a mastermind.
Plan B was sending out the...
That was his plan A.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
That was his plan A. That whole thing was set up.
Yeah, that was all
to attempt to reveal to the entire world that yes, we do exist. So if you have that ability somewhere deep inside you, all you have to do is will it to the surface, and then
It's not a lie. You're not crazy.
And I don't know. That's not the way I see this series ending. I understand there's going to be a whole bunch of new ones probably, like in this universe. Maybe I don't know if the movie will actually be made, but there's going to be new superheroes and whatnot. But for those heroes to die, it just seemed like a smack in the face at the end, and I just did not like seeing Bruce Willis drowned in a hole in the parking lot. I didn't like seeing Glass die the way he died, and then the Beast really that
upset me too.
That upset me, but I also was upset that the Beast finally has a voice. He didn't have a voice in Split. I don't remember him talking that much.
No, not that much. But he did. He said the rejoice to your pure thing.
Yeah, he may have growled or something and said one thing, but this guy was just straight up talking.
Yeah,
and it's
why
like,
are you in that chair?
Yeah, it just seemed like too much. It made him look almost like he was just a dumb brute for Glass to manipulate, as opposed to being the epic villain that I saw him in Split.
Yeah, because he's his own.
I mean, I felt like the Beast was like just that apex villain. He was the top. Like I don't think
he doesn't need a glass.
Yeah, he doesn't need a glass. No. Like he was it for whatever he was.
You feel
doing.
Like they banged him?
A little bit. I feel like they dumbed him down a lot, especially with giving him the ability to talk as much as he did. They dumbed him down, and then he just followed orders after that, and I didn't like that. Until
he realized.
Yeah, I preferred him being what he was in Split. And I also don't like the characters in the Horde. I don't think they really used them effectively. I think they could have been so much more. It was almost like they wasted his ability. You can go and jump in. They wasted his ability to act.
My thing is they were trying to implement the doubt, like because they're trying to make these people feel like they're not that special. So that's why my next one. That's why the Horde was acting that way.
And my next one is the Overseer has been doing this for how many years? And then all it takes is one little weird shrink to convince him that maybe you're not superhuman. He's been doing all this stuff for how many years? He knows if he can do it or not.
Yeah.
He knows how much he can lift.
Like the only one who should have been actually manipulated that way is the Horde because he was new to it and he is crazy.
Right.
But clearly, like, Glass wasn't affected.
So my objections to this movie are purely subjective. I'm not talking about the technical stuff in this movie. Awesome. I mean, there's a lot of brilliant stuff in this movie. It's just the direction that he took the story isn't where I saw it going. So that it kind of upset me when I watched them. Like, why would you do that to these characters? They're so wonderful. Why would you just dismiss them? Basically, I felt like they were just dismissed.
I felt a way that this was their end until Glass said, "This is an origin story."
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because what I took from it, and I could be 100% wrong. What I took from it was like, this world is so much bigger than us, and they're all going, now is their time, to come out. Because you think about it, these people, him especially, like, Glass is so fragile. He survived this long, but like, how long can he keep going, being that fragile? So I think he got his satisfaction in creating a because you saw how elated he was that he made a hero and a villain, and he was that happy.
Yeah, look how long it took for him to do that, though, and how much.
And exactly, but now look how in one fell stroke.
That's where
Look, now I've created a world of superheroes.
That's where I think his master plan failed.
You don't think he made
in a real world? Think about the real world.
Okay,
what happens when you see a video on YouTube, whatever, something fantastical?
Are there ladies in it?
Huh?
Are there ladies in this video?
What happens when you see something fantastical? Either you think it's fake or you dismiss it, you forget about it a week later.
In this microwave era, you're 100% right.
That's what's going to happen. They're going to forget about it. And it might affect one or two people. It might affect just a tiny percentage of the population.
But he's not
guess
talking
what?
to those people, though. He's talking to the people who have these powers inside and maybe doubting themselves.
And you know what? They should stay hidden, because you know what's going to happen next? These guys with the black 3 leaf clover people are going to track them down, have an easier time of tracking them down, because now they're out, because they're not afraid of their abilities and people knowing about it, and they're gone. What he did was just help those people, those mysterious people with the weird psychic connection in the restaurant.
He did pull off. Pull off exactly what he wanted, though. He made the ultimate origin story for all these people, like he did with the Overseer, David. I think David. Bruce Willis's character, the Overseer. Yeah, he was rabbled in the fact that he.
I feel like the ultimate origin story is split.
Yes, I agree.
That's for me.
I agree.
In that universe.
Yes.
Because they actually spent the movie building up to whether or not this thing was going to be real. And
do you think that this tainted Split?
No.
Okay.
I can pretend like it doesn't exist. I just watch Split. Like, I feel like that was the perfect origin story, because the whole point, like, M. Night likes to tease, and then at the end gives you something crazy. You already know it's coming, so you kind of expect it. But so you knew the beast was coming, but they were making it like, okay, he's going to think he's the beast, but is he really going to be the beast? Mm-hmm. And then here's this guy, he's bending bars, he's taking bullets to the chest. That's a beast. Yes. And that's why I love him so much. Climbing over walls, that's crazy. That's why I love that so much, that they were able to do that. That he willed himself to be the more than just a normal human being. He literally took a bullet but they tried to explain it away in the next movie, which I didn't like.
The doctor?
Yeah.
But she was wrong, though. She was lying to try and convince
I know, but just the fact that they would play with their heads and be like, he's not really as good as you think he is, or he's not. So, and especially for the Overseer, because he's been doing it longer than anybody, he should know.
I agree. There's no way
in Glass, there's no way you can outsmart.
She didn't have him
outsmart Glass. That's why they had him comatose basically the entire thing. He was the first one they were going to put on. Well, I guess he kind of revealed that they needed to put him under the laser face. That was laser first, but that was part of his plan. Mm-hmm. But it's still, I think it just kind of manipulated and ruined my view of all the people in it, all the heroes and villains, instead of growing it, instead of making it bigger. It definitely
shut down any idea, like any thoughts I had of like a grandiose world being created. Mm-hmm. Like Like even though he accomplished his goal of like, hey, everyone, we exist, we're special. It's like, oh, I kind of feel stunted because everyone died.
But yeah, I mean,
and so mediocre.
It was very, for me, anticlimactic. But even though he got the message out to everybody that they existed, I think in the real world, which this is supposed to be the most like, it's going to be forgotten instantly. I mean, it was a moment, it was like a second, like he won for like a day, but then he's going to lose the war because people are just going to forget.
And if that organization is as powerful as they seem to be, they could put out something to say, hey, that's...
Yeah, they could say that video's fake, or they could, anything they wanted to do.
This is an upcoming movie we've been filming.
Yeah, I mean, they can, there's so many different ways around his master plan. It sounds like a good idea until you think of all the ways to get around it.
Yes.
You know, but...
Do you think his son will take up his mantle? He has no powers.
The overseer's son? Yeah. No. I think if he had any powers, they would have come out already.
Yeah.
Because of his dad. But I don't think he's going to do anything more other than he's going to be that old guy sitting there drinking a cup of coffee. But like, I remember when my dad was a superhero and we let the whole world know, and now everybody doesn't remember. That's what I see. You know what I mean? He's just going to be old and disgruntled.
I kind of see...
And he's going to be like, he's going to get together with that...
What I see in my head is the creation of the Watchmen universe. Like, I see this as the kicking off point of that type of universe. Like, it's like, oh shit, wow, this kind of thing does exist. You're gonna get those maybe crazy, maybe, you know, people coming out like, I can be a superhero. This is happening. You know, this. Well,
how are they going to be able to compete with that secret organization though? Even if there's like 5 or 6 of them like bond together, that secret organization is so huge that they're going to be able to wipe their whole existence off the map.
Agreed, and I think that in a way is why, though we didn't know it until the end, the Doctor and that organization are the real villains of the movie. Like, we're watching the heroes.
Were they really villains? Because what they thought they were doing was creating a balance in the world by taking away these super powered individuals who didn't fit in with everybody
by any means necessary. Yeah. And as we know, after watching Into the Spider-Verse, that can be dangerous.
Right. So I don't think they consider themselves the villains. I think they consider themselves the heroes.
But I think that's the idea, is like they are the villains to these heroes and or villains, because they stop both.
I was so hoping she had a power, like maybe be able to manipulate people or make them think what she was. I kind of wanted that too. I wanted something more from her instead of just being like one of the leaders or, you know, higher ranking individuals in this organization. I wanted more from her. I don't know. Just everything I wanted more from this.
Do you think
something else?
So you mentioned that McAvoy's performance was lessened because of the way they used him?
I think they could have used... I think it was so dumbed down, not just with the Beast, but with the other characters. He steals the scene, but they didn't give him the lines or the space, story, the freedom, to really just do what he did best. Just like they didn't let him blossom. He blossomed and split.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It was just mind blowing. He didn't have this chance in this movie.
Every scene was his, even if you couldn't see him. It was
and not to say that he didn't do a good job with any of his acting. All the individuals seemed like different people when he was doing them. And I don't think they wrote him good enough lines or something to really make him shine.
I think it was the fact that for me, it was the fact that he was contained. That kind of...
When he was the weird chick, I don't know what the name was, when he was laying on the floor.
Yeah, the yoga chick. Yeah.
That was perfect. That's what they needed more of that. Because when he was just completely different and just completely mesmerizing to everybody around him.
I loved... I disagree a bit because... Like, I got to see emotion from the big three that I didn't see before. They were in so much control in Split. Like Patricia, you got to actually see her worried in this. Like she was starting to lose faith in this thing that has been her pillar, you know, for however long. And then Dennis is like, you thought he was down from the start, but no, turns out he doesn't want this. He wants he just wants to protect Kevin. He just wants to make sure Kevin is safe. And Hedwig is just Hedwig. I'm a Drake now.
He's my main man.
I don't know. I
don't think they used him correctly either. Before, he even walked like he was shorter, like awkwardly shorter when he was. Yep. But now he was just walking around like a normal dude, like, but he was still 9.
He was still, he, and I don't know if that was because they were trying to convince things, but yeah, well, no, because if that was the case, they would have used someone else. But yeah, he did walk like, yeah, he was a little different right there. He still had that personality though that I enjoyed from Split. She's my girlfriend.
Did you like the reemergence of like the girl from Split? I mean, I understand why the boy was there. And I was super excited that it was the same dude. But do you think she brought anything to the picture? Because I don't feel like she was supposed to bring love.
There's a syndrome.
When you fall in love with a captor, your captor or your abuser, you fall like, yeah.
I don't know.
I think she just wanted closure. I don't think she was so much in love.
Yeah,
maybe she did want to get with Kevin and like because they bonded. She wants somehow.
To fix him, like because she came out and said, "Hey, I'm fixed. My uncle's in jail, and that, so like you can get that too." And I don't know. Like I did feel a little disconnected. I was like, kind of like, why is she so involved? Like she shouldn't be allowed to go, But turns out, for a reason, she was being used as a weapon, and I apologize for all the spoilers we're doing without saying spoilers. But yeah, she was kind of being used as a weapon just in case we can't convince the Horde or Beast, that he's not phenomenal.
I feel like this organization would have zapped him in the head with a laser anyway.
That wasn't just for Glass? That was for everybody?
I feel like it was for everybody.
Because she kept mentioning the frontal lobe of everyone.
I could be wrong, but I felt like if they couldn't convince, because she's like, if I can't convince you, or you don't convince these other people that I convinced you that you aren't what you think you are now, then this is bad. And this is where you're gonna go. Laser to the forehead. So I don't know. I don't feel like they had a choice. I think they were gonna get him anyway. Either way, they're gonna zap him or they were gonna kill him. This is what this little organization does. Obviously, they're in the shadows.
I kind of wish I was a little disappointed the more we talk about it in the parking lot fight aspect of it. I knew they weren't going to get to that building. Yeah. But I kind of wanted that though. Like I wanted to see. I mean, it got put out to the world.
That was part of his plan too.
Yeah, because
he needed it there because that's where all the cameras were, where he had control over.
Yeah. Did you feel he was lessened at all, or you think other than his death?
Glass?
Yeah.
I just feel like his plan had too many
holes.
Just was ultimately not going to work. And I think he should have known that. Unless he was just disconnected because he was slightly older. And not as in tune to like the technology and the media that people forget easy. And
we're in a microwave.
I can't remember something I saw 2 weeks ago, let alone, no matter how like that's sad.
I gotta tell you, if that all of a sudden just popped up, like
you would think it was fake.
Me? The guy who wants to be a superhero?
You want to be a villain. You don't want to be a superhero.
First name, Mr. Last name, Killia.
Mr. Killia.
That's the sequel. Oh, well. Looks like Go Watch Movie is divided here.
Yes, we are.
Because I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I'm gonna so much so. And you know what? Maybe it's James McAvoy, his performance in there. But when the Beast said that, what I said at the opening of the show, like I almost wrote a tear. Like I remember.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I enjoy. For the perimeters of what he built here over the last 3 movies, I really enjoy, and the fact that he used scenes from Unbreakable that we hadn't seen before.
Yep.
I really enjoy what he put together, and I kind of want there to be more. Like I will miss the characters.
Oh yeah, I would be less interested in watching it because of that.
Yeah, because I think you created some amazing characters. but I kind of want to know more about this organization, whether it be like in a television series or, another movie like of them hunting down some new heroes. I can see it in my head.
Where are the twists going to come? Because each one of these movies has a twist. So where's the twist going to come in a future movie where the secret organization is hunting down?
Sadly, I feel like
it's all revealed. It's all revealed. There's no.
I think he needs to go away from that. I think he just needs to. This is like, do we need another twist? Like, can he not just build another world? I know he won't because that's just the way his mind works.
I almost forgot.
Uh-oh.
Why is he in this movie? I know he likes to be in all of his movies.
I don't know why.
Was that scene even necessary? That took up so much screen time. I was sitting there, my foot was tapping. I'm like, why?
It was a pointless scene too.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm going to go out.
Let him take a walk. Let me watch a movie without you being in it.
Yeah, like we get it, dude. You made
do a good job. Don't get me wrong. I love me some M. Night. I have like the majority of his movies.
Did you like The Village?
I did like The Village.
Some people hate that movie.
I love that one. That one was so good to me. I love how stupid the ending was. It was stupid in the clever way though.
Yeah.
It's like that was it. They're in a park. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was such a good. I mean, because you thought it was something grandiose, and he just brought it back to reality.
Which it kind of still was.
Yeah, it was grandiose, but it wasn't as grandiose as we thought it was. Yeah. It wasn't like on a supernatural level.
Yeah.
And the fact that they just brought it back to reality was my enjoyment from it, because like, that's possible. Yeah. Before like these little crazy
there are
people,
places like that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's totally possible. Yeah. So I did like that. I liked, like I said, I liked the majority of his movies, but this particular one
didn't work for you. Is it because of the predecessors, or just the
two movies before this are so good? I think this one has a long way to go to meet that.
Did them an injustice,
but at the same time, I think he took a direction that I didn't enjoy.
Gotcha.
I can't say that everybody is going to dislike it.
But did you expect it?
I did not expect everybody.
What a twist! Way to go!
I didn't expect everybody to die. I did expect another villain to pop up, or I did not expect a secret organization, but I did expect somebody else powerful to pop up, even though the movie was called Glass. Mm-hmm. And I knew there was going to be some twist in relation to Glass, but I didn't know there was going to be a plan that, for me, would ultimately fail. Like, I feel like it ultimately fails. Maybe it wouldn't. Maybe in his universe, maybe in M. Night's universe.
I still think, it's like
it's
we're gonna get some heroes out of this could be the end of this.
I feel like it should be.
Yeah, I don't know, but
because I don't see where unless he does another movie where you don't know it's connected to these three, then that's possible.
Yeah,
that he could pull that off. But I don't want to see a movie where these secret organization is hunting down folks, because ultimately I don't see how there can be a twist then, unless the secret organization is something other than what we think it is, and then something I don't know.
Yeah, because we know nothing about that secret organization other than they hunt heroes.
We know they like to hang out in public places and psychically link their minds. Everybody stops at the exact same time. That's some supernatural. That's some supernatural stuff.
Kind of like Inception, when they notice you don't belong in the dream, mm-hmm. Everyone just stops and stares at you.
Yeah, it's like you're not from here. Like, how does that even happen? Just meet at somebody's house.
Yeah, or get a layer, damn it,
or have a little thingamabobber like in the movie, like Witches. Remember when all the witches go to the hotel and they have this little thing?
I've never seen that.
You never seen Witches with the mouse? Little mouse running around, little mouse.
With the real ugly witch?
Yeah, the witch.
Okay, yeah. I thought you were talking about the one you mentioned earlier.
No, not that one. That's different. Witches.
Okay. Which are remaking Witches with Anne Hathaway's playing the main witch.
Why are they remaking Witches?
I don't know.
Did they not see the first one and that it was epic and
apparently
awesome
not.
And perfect and didn't need to be remade?
Sadly, that's not Hollywood.
I guess they didn't see that. It's like remaking Back to the Future. Why would you even attempt to do such a thing?
They better never do that.
Yeah. Just wait.
No, I will pull a Jay and Silent Bob and go ruin that movie from being made.
Why don't you stand naked with the trench coat and then slowly open it
up? Glass. I'm going to say go watch it, Robert.
I say break it on the floor.
Oh, break the glass.
Break the glass on the floor. See how I did that?
I did. I liked it.
I'll say this.
Okay.
There's a lot of brilliant stuff in this movie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's completely unwatchable. I just didn't like it. So I'm not going to say, I can't definitively say don't go watch it. For me, no.
As I said in I didn't think this podcast would be divided like Rotten Tomatoes is, but it is.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I can, in my crazy head, justify the actions that happened. But with that
I understand that they happen, but it doesn't mean I have to like it.
No, exactly. But I was going to say, I can also see your point. Like, I agree, in this microwave era and with the power that they claim that group has, they can kind of very easily ruin his master plan. But yeah, that's Glass, ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. I'm a little sad and disheartened. I was hoping we were going to have a love fest here with Glass, but it doesn't always happen that way. Where you can find us at gowatchmovie.com. Blam, is that easy. Go there. There's a tab with all of our social medias. Click on those, like, share, repost, and all that stuff. Trailers are there. News is there. The podcast is there. Enjoy it. And a very special announcement. Next week, Go Watch a Movie is going to have its first guest. Oh my God, I'm nervous. This man is from a little podcast called the Countdown Movie and TV Review, and he's going to grace us with his presence. Paul from there. Apparently Wayne was too busy. And we just want to say a big thank you to him for doing that, taking time to do that, because there's a big time difference. So yeah, that's going to be happening next week. So I hope you all tune in for that. It's going to be a very special spectacular. If you are not familiar with our spectaculars, it's when we focus on one franchise and just chew the fuck out of it. We have a few of those if you want to go back and listen. But yeah, that's episode 68. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Stay pure and go watch a movie.